Hey folks, Quilly18 here, bringing you another game of Starcraft 2. I know there have been a few comments about people. Some people think there might be a little too much Starcraft on the channel. Of course, some other people like the Starcraft and want to see more. Basically, I've said this before, I just record what I play. I happen to be playing a bunch of Starcraft right now, so you'll see a few games of that. I don't know, depending on when I post this, I will have just posted some League of Legends or will be just about to post some more, so don't worry, there's a little bit of everything for everyone. I tend to get bored of the same old thing, so you get to see a whole lot of variety if you watch my videos. This time it is going to be a Zerg mirror match. This is actually not me, this is Blue STI, and I am at the bottom here. So I'm the blue Zerg at the bottom, and he is the red Zerg at the top. And this map, I believe I've already posted a video of Scrap Station. It's a very interesting map. If you look down on the mini-map here, to reach each other's base, it's a big U-shaped run this way, but from air it's pretty close. But generally speaking, you don't have to worry about being rushed too much, so... and I have been trying to play a little bit more rush games lately, but I figure on this map, it's probably a good idea to play a little bit more economical. Here I am. What am I doing? Am I sending out a scout? No. What was I doing? That's kind of a weird hesitancy there. I think I was thinking about sending out a scout, and then I changed my mind. I realized I should wait a little bit longer because he probably is not going to be rushing either, so there's no big hurry. He's putting down a spawning pool at 14. Instead, I'm actually going to be going for a hatchery at 14. And then I will be building 2 more drones, and following that up with a spawning pool. The hatchery was probably a little late, or something. There was quite a bit of a delay there, but there's a reason that I ended up with an excessive amount of larvae sitting around, so I'm going to have to try to be a bit more on my toes there. Swing back to my original hatchery a little bit faster as I'm placing that one. So I do have the spawning going down at 15. And I am going to make a tutorial video next, I think, just to talk about some of the terms that you might hear in these videos. So if you're a bit lost about what's going on, well, you can just come right back and see a follow-up video for a little bit more tutorial information. So he is already got his gas up, and I am almost there because I delayed it a little bit to get the hatchery. If we check our income, we are basically neck and neck in harvesters. I am 1 harvester behind. Oh, now we're even. He'll probably pop another one in a second. So we're about even in economy, except I already have my hatchery underway, and he started building his now, but mine's about to pop. So I feel like I am slightly ahead. Now I'm going to fall behind on minerals here because I think I'm mining gas a little bit more aggressively. There we go. Now he's got his gas populated. So I think he built his gas first, but didn't populate it quite as quickly. So that's pretty interesting. So my plan on this one is to get that early expansion, populate it. I'm getting an early second gas, which is a clue that I should be going Mutalisks here. Hopefully I'll populate that gas pretty quickly. We'll see. He is staying on 1 gas, so it looks like he's going to be going ground. Looks like. I mean, I've played this game. I know what's going to happen. So it's not necessarily a brilliant thing. Nice that he's transferring his queen over here, so he's got a new queen building at his original hatchery. He's got his first set of Zerglings out. He's got 8 Zerglings kicking around. Now, let's look at the production tab. I've got a handful of Zerglings just started to get produced now. The idea being that hopefully, if he does decide to go with a semi-rush, and he's going metabolic boost, he's going heavy ground, hopefully I can hold off a few. I believe, actually these Zerglings are going to be my first scout. Let me very quickly, what do I hit here? Yeah, barring my overlords, these are my first scouts that are going to be sent in his direction here. So I'm mostly checking to see, is he going to be building a whole lot of Zerglings? And I'm going to find out that he is. In fact, if he'd sent these at my base right away, I'd be in a lot of trouble. The fact that he held off a little bit longer is probably the only thing that saved me, so I'm going to have to keep that in mind. Probably be a little bit more aggressive in terms of my build here. I got a whole bunch of money saved up. I'm not sure why. I'm pumping a lot of drones. Economically, I'm going very strong. I'm well ahead of him in harvesters, but I think too far ahead. At this point, I've got to be a little bit more careful about being attacked. So I've got my Zerglings here again. I'm hoping to be able to catch him if he moves out, but what I really should do is move up a little bit and get an accurate count of how many Zerglings he's got going on, because I'm in big trouble if he pushes. But right now, I do have 16 Zerglings going out. I felt like I've pumped enough drones, my economy is solid, and I know that I could be getting hit any time now. And have I scouted? No, I don't have it, but... So I don't know if he's going air or if he's going ground, but I figure having some Zerglings would be a good idea. So I'm going to stick them right here in the fog. And what else am I building? I've got my spire finally coming up over here. I've built it a little far ahead. That way, if he's just buzzing around back here with an overlord, he won't see it. I mean, it's not going to be hard to find, but it's a little bit hidden. I've got more zerglings underway. Economy, I'm still... actually, I'm now behind on harvesters. He's turned around and pumped harvesters after all of his zerglings, which is pretty good. I believe I just ran a couple of zerglings right into his base. Now I know exactly how many zerglings he's got, and definitely suspecting he might be running after me. I'm still building a bunch of zerglings, but I'm also building a baneling nest. And I think in the future I'm going to build those baneling nests a little sooner. If I have a little more zerglings and a little bit more banelings, then I can get a scout of his base and know if he's going air, in which case I might want to pressure him ground. And here he comes in here, and I've actually started to move my queens forward. So I am engaging. We have... Let me back up a tiny second here. How do I get... Let me pause right before the battle starts. What is the units? U. So I actually have more zerglings than he does. Astounding. How did this happen? I guess because it's that timing window. I pumped drones a little bit sooner. Therefore set myself up to have a better economy sooner, and he didn't attack me during that window. If he had attacked me during that window, I'd been vulnerable. But I built those drones, and then I started building zerglings, and now he's ahead of me in economy, but I'm going to be able to hold off this zergling rush, and I almost have my spire done, so I'm going to be able to go after him air. Now, my baneling nest is not quite done. And I was cursing myself at this point for not having the baneling nest complete, because I thought, if he's coming after me, and I know he's coming after me, and I lose here, if I lose my army, I'm more or less going to be dead, depending on how many numbers he comes in with. But if I had just a couple of banelings in here, I would be okay. So the battle is met, and I bring in my queens just to add a little bit more damage. And so now he retreats at this point, and let's see, what are the units like? At this point, he's lost a good handful of zerglings, and I actually have a good amount. Now, I don't pressure him because I can't chase him. I don't have speedlings. That's part of it. I saved my money. I didn't get speedlings, which means my zerglings are actually quite a bit less capable in combat because he can get surrounds easier and that sort of thing. But it did save me 100 minerals, 100 gas, which I could apply to everything else. And I figured that for pure defense, I could probably make do without, especially taking advantage of the smoke here, which makes it a little harder for him to plan us around, and having my queens available, and the ease of reinforcement. So I'm not going to chase. I can't chase. So I pull back into the smoke, and I believe I start pulling my queens back at this point. So I'm still reinforcing a few zerglings. He's actually building a lot of zerglings. Up to her now. I got my baneling's nest at this point. And my spire has come up. I got lots of resources. I've actually just hit the supply cap. I am building a couple of overlords. So yeah, I started my 5 mutalisks, and that hit my supply cap. That's perfect, though. 5 mutalisks is perfectly fine. And now I'm morphing a bunch of my zerglings into banelings, and he is a pure zergling army. And there's one simple fact in Starcraft, is that zerglings plus banelings beats zerglings. In fact, you just want more banelings than the other guy has. So if I'm going to pause again right here. What's our unit count? So, in fact, we're actually pretty even in zerglings, plus I've got more banelings, so having the early economy really, really helped. He's still ahead of me in harvesters, so I'm going to be falling behind as the game goes on, but at this point I've invested a bunch into making sure my defense is holding, and then I've got these mutalisks, and the mutalisks are the big, big difference. We're even in zerglings, but I got the banelings and the mutalisks, and we'll see what develops from here. So he's camping out here, getting ready for another attack. Check his production. He's actually building a whole bunch of spine crawlers around his expansion here. I think he thought I was going to continue pressuring him ground. He did see a lot of zerglings, but it turns out that's just the amount of zerglings I need. Let me pause a sec here. He's got 1,000 minerals and 500 gas. And so I think that's the big difference. He was not spending his minerals quite as effectively as I was. And mine's a little bit lower. I mean, it probably peaks up at a certain point, but generally speaking, I was keeping it low. And now I come into his base, and he's got absolutely no anti-air. I'm going to decimate his harvester count. Now he's below me. Well, a bunch of the harvesters did go to mill these spine crawlers. He's got a whole bunch of them around his base as well. And the only thing could have saved him is spore crawlers, but he didn't have an evolution chamber. He didn't have enough. And where's his army? Did he attack me? Let me back up a sec here. I may have missed a counterattack. Oh, yeah. Let me back up a little bit more. So these are my mutas going in for the attack, and let's watch when he decides to move out. It'll probably be in reaction to me starting my attack. No, he's already moving in. So we just decided to attack at exactly the same time. But now I got some banelings kicking around here in the smoke, and they are just gonna, look at this, boom, 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 boom. And he has virtually no zerglings left. A few banelings is all you need, especially with these smokes, because they won't know it's there. Oh, he comes back in, and hey, I got more zerglings, I got more banelings, I got more mutas on the way. And I'm nice and defended here while I'm microing my mutas here, and he says, well, I guess that's GG. And yeah, there's nothing he can do at this point. Unfortunately, he misread what I was doing. If I was going ground, he may have been able to counter me here, especially with these spine crawlers. And that's it. GG. Hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'm going to try to make one that's a little bit more tutorialized shortly. So, see you next time.